Tamara here, nice of you to join me, and a very warm welcome to my channel. It's lovely to have you here with me today. And in today's video we are on part 3 of the recipe book project that we have been doing recently, and this came about from my Facebook group Memories Paper Art. And in the group I asked about whether or not to post family recipes. So if you have a family recipe that you make something, then put it in the group, and then we will put them all in a special project to put them all, to house them all in. I thought it would be quite a nice little project to do as a group. So I've come up with this kit. Now the kit is available on tamaracrafts.com. It's the recipe box kit, and it's quite a really good price, so head over there to that. I will put the link in the description box below, and that way you can then purchase this if you want to. So in the kit you will get your cardstock and your MDF box that you will need to make up. A few other things. You'll get the foundation tape as well, and a few other bits and bobs that are in the kit as well. So let's get on with the video. So we are going to be using the farmhouse the farmhouse papers from Graphic 45, which are these ones here. Now I have been also doing a Facebook Live on a Friday night, every Friday in March, and I've been using the Home Sweet Home collection from Graphic 45, which is this one here. So there's two places that you can look. I will be putting the Facebook Lives onto my YouTube channel. I just need to edit them a little bit, but yeah, you'll be able to see the two together. But for the YouTube videos I'm using the farmhouse papers. I love both papers, I have to say. I do really love both papers. I can't really, if I had to pick one that I just had to really pick one, it would be the farmhouse. I just love them. I love them both, as I say, but if you said to me, right, you've got to pick one to take on a desert island, which one would it be? I think it would be the farmhouse one. That's the best way I can describe it, of which one it is. It's that close. So we're going to be making another one of these books. Now, the books are made with just your cardstock. There is a free downloadable PDF guide that you can use in conjunction with this video, so please make good use of that. If you do use it and you download it, it is just for personal use. It is not to be reproduced and sold or made into a kit or something else that you may do. So this is just for personal use. You can sell any of the projects that I do. You can sell them if you've made them yourself. Okay, so once made up, fill your boots, and you can make as many as you like and sell them, but just don't sell the tutorials or the PDFs. So we're going to start with making I'm going to start with cutting out all my elements. Now I'm going to cut them out on stream, and then we can go from there. So I am putting them in my little box, or I've got a project box that I use just to put, when I'm cutting out all my elements, I use it to house them. So I haven't got them all over everywhere. For the recipe book covers, I'm going to cut them out. So the covers you will need a part A, which is 8.5 by 7, 8.5 by 5.5, and then you'll need a part B, which is 8.5 by 7.5. Now I'm going to cut that bit off because I've messed that up there a little bit. So 7.5, like so. Now this 7.5 one, we are going to put our score lines on. So we're going to score down the long side, and we're going to score it at 1/2, and then I've turned mine round. I'm scoring again on that same edge at 2, like so. Now if you were doing it this way, you'd score at your 1/2 and score, and then move it down and then score again at 2, okay, like so. So that is your front cover. We will put that together in just a minute. So for the hinges, I'm going to use some of my offcuts here. So we're going to need 3 pieces for our hinges. So our first hinge is 3 inches by 8 inches. So that's our first hinge. And the second hinge is 1 inch by 8, and then it was 7/8 by 8 inches. So 7/8 by 8. So that's our hinges. Now I will do the scores in a moment. So working from page 4, we'll go from page 4 upwards. So I'm going to put these in my little front part of my project book and do page 4. Now page 4, we need to do 2 of these, so part A and part B, and that's 5.25 by 8. So 5.25, so we do it by 8. This way by 5.25, and then it was, I'm just checking my next page. So page 1, so just moving back over to page 1, I'm going to use this part that's come off of that piece of card. So page 1, we're going to cut this one at 4 3/4. I think, yes, 4 3/4. And then that gets used of this page here. So this one is page 1. So I'm just going to write page 1, part A. Okay, and then I'm going to put that into my page 1 part of my box. So getting another sheet, we can now do part B. So part B is 9 inches by 5.25. Just double checking. 5.25, like so. So this is my part by 9. Is that right? Hold on. Yes, it is, because we've got to score at both sides. So that goes in for my part 4, which is that bit there. So this is page 4, so put that in my page 4 part. So we might as well do page 1. So going back to page 1, I'm sorry I'm going backwards and forwards. I think it's just trying to get the most out of our cardstock. So page 1, the measurement is 5 3/4 by 9. And I'm just going to write on here part B, page 1, and I know that that's page 1. That goes in my little pocket there. So we've done the pages. So now we can come and do the fold over pull outs. Yes, so let's go with one at the moment, which is 9 by 7 5/8. And we're going to score along the short edge at 4 1/8. Okay, and that is for page 4. There we go, page 4. Okay. So for the front and back covers, which is what we're going to work on now, we will cut the rest of them out, but I thought as we're going through. So for the front and back covers, you'll need to cut 2 on each of these. So 2 at 5.5 by 7.5 and 2 at 5.5 by 5 5/8. So I'll cut 2 together. So 7.5 by 5 and 5.5. So that's 1, and then 1 at 5 5/8. So we need to do 5.5, which is that side there. No, hold on. 5.5 by 5 5/8. Okay, so that's the second one. And that's all we've got for that at the minute. And what we'll do is we'll do all our tags at a later date. So we've got to do pages 2 and 3 now. And they are our tag holders. You're going to need to cut 2 each of these. So part A is 3 inches by 3 7/8. And part B is 3 inches by 4 7/8. Now you're going to need to score part A at 1/2 inch on the short side, and part B you're going to score on 3 sides also at 1/2 inch. So you're going to score on 2 short sides and 1 long side. And we can score along the bottom there. I'm just going to score this as we go. So that's 1 score line. So that is part A. That's my smaller one. Just checking, making sure I had no other pieces. But what I would do is if you've got the kit and you obviously cut out all your other pieces, just keep them all and just find a piece in there, because you will have a piece this size in your kit. I'm sure you were in your scrap pile. So I'm just going to do my score lines here, and then that's them all done. And again, this is unless I state, I always do a 1/2 inch score line. So they are my tag holders. Now you have a choice here. You can either do let me find my ones out. So you can either do a policy holder like I've done here, and these just open out, and then you can pull out a little tag from there like so. Now just put that inside, or you can do a booklet, and I'm sure I put my booklets in here, and oh, they're hiding, look here behind the my booklets. I haven't finished those yet. Oh, I thought I had. Right, hold on, I'll show you from here. I finished these ones definitely. Oh, there we go, there's one. So these are then the booklets, so you can just have a booklet like that. It's entirely up to you how you do it. I like either or way. It depends on what you want to do. So on these ones, which I've not finished yet, I've just done a little tuck spot in there. So if you didn't want to do that, you could do a tuck spot instead. But so you wouldn't need the part A and part B. You would just do that as a strip of card on its own. So again, it's really, you can do the same page but different designs. Okay, so that's those. Now I think I actually like doing the policy holders. So for them, I just need to get my measurements here so I don't forget them. Okay, I've just cut my policy holders, and I've cut them at, I think they were 8 inches by 6.5. So I've cut 2 of those, but if you want to, you could cut 4 and have 4 of them going into your little tag holders. But I've also then cut out my long tall booklets, and I've cut them at 8.5 by 3 and 5/8. Yeah, by 3 and 5/8. So I've cut 2 of those because I'm going to have 2 and 2, just to break it up a little bit. So I'm just going to put them in my little box there. So I think we've done all our cutting. Let's get them out, and we can start with doing our book. And as we go through, I will do our school lines as well as we go through the page. So just going to move some bits out of the way like so. Just turn on my light. I feel I'm a little bit dark today. So getting your elements for to make your book and your inside covers as well. So we need the 2 tall pieces. Now we did do our score lines already on the bigger piece, so we're going to fold them over. So fold one and fold the other, and I will get a Teflon tool and just burnish those score lines down like so, just to really get them those score lines extra crisp. So we've got that page, so that's going to be our back cover. So our front cover, we're going to place it so that this edge butts up to the score line of your glue tab. So the glue goes onto the valley fold side, and put quite a bit of glue on there so that you get the glue all over. And I'm going to just tap it on the ground so I've got it nice and level, and just move that up just so that I'm level top and bottom with my cover underneath. And then I'm just going to gently just bring that glue tab over like so. Okay. And then eventually, as your fingers warm the glue, it will really stick quite firm. But do it up and down like in that type of motion, because what we don't want is to get a bubble in our glue tab. We want it nice and straight and smooth. So that then is our covers or cover done. So the next thing I'm going to do is just write on here B for back, because I want my glue tab to be on the back, and F for front like so. And I need to get a new pencil because that one is broken. And I'm just going to put an arrow so that I know which way it needs to go. So I've just put the F and the B on the inside as well, so that I'm doubly covered. So that then is our cover. Now what you could do if you wanted to, you could put that glue tab on the inside, but I like it on the outside because it gives a bit more stability. So we've done that. So next I just need to bring in my trimmer again, because we need to do our score lines on our hinges. So bring in your hinges. Now you should have 3, and I think I've lost one in the move from bringing it out. I don't know if that might be it. No, I can always do another one. So for your hinge 1, we're going to score it. I'm just going to check that that is it is the right one. Yes, it is. So we're going to score first of all at 1/2 inch, and we're scoring along the long side of our cardstock, and then score along the 1 inch side. Now I'm going to turn it round 180 degrees and score it again at 1/2, and then score it again at 1. Okay, so you're creating an extendable hinge. Okay, I'm just scoring them down, just folding them over. I will double crease them a bit later on, just so that they're nice and crisp. So that's our hinge 1. So hinge 2, which I don't think is this one here. Do you know what I think I did? I think I threw them away when I moved everything. I bet that's what I did. Oh, Tamara, you are. Right, so let me just cut some more. So hinge 2 is a 1 inch by 8 inch, and you're going to score that in the middle. Okay, like so. So that's hinge 2. And then hinge 3, we're going to go down 1/8 of an inch and score this at, and cut this at 7/8. And then we're going to score that at 3/8. Okay, like so. And then that's going to become your second hinge, third hinge. So move them out the way. So bringing back your covers, and you'll need a ruler and a pencil. Now I'm going to just put my measurement at, I think, if I'd said 1/4 of an inch, let me just double check this, because, no, I don't think it's 1/4. So at the bottom you need to put a measurement of 1/8 of an inch. Just draw a little line like so. and then do the one at the top as well, like so. Now when this goes on, we want a 1/4 inch gap on either side. And we can place this on. Now what I'm going to do is add lots of glue. Now you can do glue and double-sided tape if you so wish. I like to add glue as well as sometimes double-sided tape. It depends on what I'm doing, but for this the glue is just sufficient, and it will stick for a long time. Plus it will give you some wiggle time, and wiggle time is really what we need when we're doing something like this. Now make sure you get it as straight as possible, and if you're using your guides that you put down, you should get it relatively straight. And then when you're happy, just burnish that down just to warm up the glue to make it stick a little bit better. So once you've done, let's just rub out my pencil lines. Please excuse my very manky rubber. It's a glue rubber. So that's 1 and 2. Now what I have forgot to say or do is cut off this extra, or cut down this extra hinge here. Now I've left it on in case you want to extend your back page. I didn't want to in my books because my books, the front hinge is the extendable one, and that means, because that's going to sit all the way over them, I wanted it to have that little bit of height. So, but the pages underneath don't really need an extendable hinge. I've made these tag holders extendable, so you can fit lots of things underneath there, like so, if you wanted to. And then the back page is just your normal standard hinge, which is the one that we're going to cut off. Now what I normally do is I would have cut some of this down before I'd stuck it into my book, and then just stuck the rest of it down to the hinge that's already there. Now the reason I cut it down is because if I want to fold it over, because this hinge is exactly the 1/2 inch the same as the one there, it's not going to close. So if you want to get a straight line, obviously cut this beforehand, but you're not going to see that anyway, because it is going to be covered by your page that's down. But that isn't too bad. I've actually cut that quite straight. How? I don't know. So I'm going to just put my glue on the valley fold side and then stick that down to the hinge that's already there, like so. It will stick, I promise. This glue just takes a minute, just to, well, not a minute, about 10 seconds, just to get the grab. So I'm just going to squidge out any glue that's in there, if there is any, and really burnish that down. And the same with this one. There we go. So that's my 2 hinges. Now have I just dropped one? No. So bringing in your other 2 hinges that we've got. Now the one that's the 1/2 inch, we're going to have that one coming in first. And the one, although it doesn't really matter, you can have it either way. You can have the first one, so you've got that coming in first, and then your second one that's the 1/2 inch at the back. Again, it's up to you. But what we need to do is you need to think about what you want to do. So if you want to have it like I have done, where I've got the two tag holders in that are two separate pages on their own, then we need to cut our hinges down. Now, because this book has got two tag holders at the back here, we're going to cut both of them down. But if you want to keep it the same, then just cut the one, and then that would be the same as your book 2. So bringing in my trimmer again, I'm just going to measure, because these are at 8 inches, I'm just going to measure down to 4 and just snip that down, and again snip this one down to 4 inches as well. Okay, so that I've got 2 the same. Now what I will do is I will probably mitre one of these corners, but I may leave it. I think I might just leave it and see how we go, because I have to mitre the no, actually I do need to mitre the inside corners so that we can get our tags on so they're not butting into each other. So you just need to make sure you've got them in the right order, like so, because if they're in there together, they're going to get in each other's way. So all I'm going to do is just trim down a tiny bit. If you can see that there, how small that is. And I'm going to do the same with this one, and you just trim that down so that that gives you a nice V in the center here. If I bring you down a bit more, you might see it. There we go. So come on, focus. So 1, 2, and can you see now I've got a nice V. There we go, in the middle there. There we go, you can see it better now. Don't worry if it's not the correct angle, because it is going to be covered and you won't see that they are slightly out. But yeah, if you want to, you could measure that yourself. So I'm going to put this in. Now I'm going to put glue on one of my 1/2 inch ones, so that the one that we've cut is your actual hinge. But I'm going to fold the hinge that's already there over it, just so that I can use that as a resist, and I know that that's not going to get in the way when this page falls over. Okay, I have gone up a little bit, so I just need to bring that down so that I'm directly on this edge here, so it's level with the edge at the bottom. Okay, that's fine. So now the next one is the same. Now I'm going to just turn this round just so that I can see what I'm doing on this side. Just remember to put it in the right way. Now if you wanted to, you could make them different sizes. So you could make this one here and then put the other one at the back. Again, you know, your creative license. So I'm just going to bring you back up again so that I don't forget. So glue on that outside glue tab, and then make sure you've got it the right way round, and then just butt it up. That's it. So you've got it nice and level. I'm just going to burnish that down. So that's your first hinge there and there. So turn around, and now for the next one, again, this is entirely up to you. Now you can have because we've got an 1/8 of an inch gap, that's why we've done them at different sizes. So you've got an 1/8 of an inch gap here. Now if you want to, you could turn it round and have that 1/8 of an inch gap at the back and have a 1/2 an inch, or sorry, a 1/4 of an inch gap. No, actually that's 1/2 an inch. No, that's not. That's 3/8 of an inch. I beg your pardon. Your 3/8 of an inch gap on that inside gap if you wanted. I'm going to try that this time because I've had them where they've been butted up to each other like this. So I'm going to have the actual gap at the back for a change. I'm going to change it up. So I'm gluing down the 3/8 of an inch measurement. That's what's going on the floor. Oh, I nearly forgot, just to mitre that top corner. Nearly forgot. So your page goes in like so. Okay, make sure that it folds nicely over. So bring in your next one and just make sure I've got it in the right, up the right way. Mitre that corner a little bit. Glue on your 3/8 of an inch measurement, not on the 1/2 an inch one, and then put that in like so. Okay, move that over to make sure that that is nice and level, and that's your hinges in place. Now the only thing next left to do is just to mitre the end hinges. So we're going to mitre this one because our pages, these are pocket pages on the outside. They won't go on unless you mitre the corners, because what you may do is you'll make up your pages and then you'll go, oh, they don't fit. Oh no, Tamara, you've got the measurements wrong. I haven't. What it is because the pages and the hinges are exactly the same size, so you need a slot so that they can just smooth and slot onto. So that's where you mitre those corners, and you just mitre them just enough so that you can slot your pages on. Now you can do this before you put your hinges on, but I always forget. So before I put my pages on, I like to then just do it. I mean, it is doable, as you saw there. So that's our hinges. So they are a little different than your standard hinges, but it just goes to show you can do different size hinges if you want to, and they don't look out of place. You wouldn't know that they are different. They just blend in like so. So I'm quite pleased with this little one. I've got another idea in my head that's will be coming very soon about what I'm going to do. So that then is the outside cover and your hinges in. Okay, now unfortunately I was videoing happily away and I got to the very end of my sequence and looked up and discovered that I wasn't recording. I hadn't hit the record button, so that was like a moment. So what I did was this. Now I've created some angled pockets. So instead of using our flap, I've decided to go with some angled pockets. So there's a pocket at the top and then a pocket next to it, and then the same on the back, a pocket there and then a pocket there. So you've got two lovely pockets. Now you can also add another one here if you so wish. Now I'm not, as I've done it in my album already, I'm just going to show you as I would, just cutting it and pretending that this is my album. So I do apologise. Now I've got a brand new tool that is coming out recently, which will be live on the website, so you have got the first view of it. These will be live after this video goes live, so after it'll be Friday. So if you want one, then check out the website and you'll be able to get one. So this is an acrylic tool. Now it is going to come in a 1/8 of an inch and also a 1/4 of an inch. Now please excuse the colour, this is my prototype. Yours will be clear. Now if you look closely here, I've got a engraved line. Now I've just added some permanent marker to that so I can see the line. Okay, yours won't have that, yours will be clear so you'll be able to see. So how we use it, so each end has got they're angled, so each corner at the opposite ends are angled, as you can see there and there. Now they're angled those ways so that you will be able to create a pocket going from right to left or from left to right. So like I did in this one, I had my pockets going from left to right and then from right to left, and then I did them alternating at the bottom just to give me that crisscross look. Now you won't see that crisscross look because when the pages are in it will be hidden, but it's just a nice visual effect at the moment. So what you'll need to do now, the measurements for this is, you have got a 5 and so for your cardstock, for your top pocket, it's 5.5 by 7.5, and then for your bottom pocket it's 5.5 by 5 3/8. Sorry, it goes that way. Now you will, I think that was right. Yeah, that one is not the right one. So there, I've got the right ones now. So yes, so your bottom pocket is 5.5 by 5 3/8. Now you will cut 2 of each of these, one for the front and one for the back. But also what you will do is cut your cardstock out cut your pattern paper out ready. Now I've just got a scrap piece of paper here that I'm just going to use for demonstration purposes. So you will cut your pattern paper with your matten layer. So this will be an 1/8 of an inch smaller. So this would be at 5 1/4, because I'm doing the bottom measurement first. 5 1/4 by 5.5. No, 5 3/8. So that's this measurement. And then your back measurement is, I'm going to go with another colour. It should be 7.5. Sorry, 7 3/8 by 5 3/8. Like so. And then that is my layer for my cardstock in the back. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Now to get that perfect angle, we need to position our paper so that the top edge is level with the top edge of your cardstock. You need to mat your sides so that they are equal, and need to find my lovely tape. Just going to take some of that stick off of the tape and just position this again like so, and then just fold it round, and again on this side and fold it round. So that's your piece ready to go. So bringing in your little tool. Now these angles you're going to position. This corner is going to go into the corner of your cardstock, and you're going to line up this edge with the top of your cardstock. Now I might just bring you down so you can see a little bit more. There we go. So I'm going to push that up like that. Now you've got two options. You can either have your pocket where you cut your slit here, which is a 22.5 degrees angle, or you can then go from the top here and have a more horizontal angle rather than a more steeper one. So I'll just move you out again. Now I'm going to just have to move this round because I need to have it at a certain angle. So once I'm happy, so if you're not happy with the craft knife, I would say go with putting your pencil line along that edge, and then you can use your scissors to cut that off, but you will end up with a platform here, which looks really good. I've used that before. If you didn't want to end up with that platform, I would suggest you could maybe, now this is what you could do. You could line up your corner here with your corner at the top and line them up as good as possible, and then just draw your line like so. That way you're going from the corner to this corner here. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with my corners there, and I'm going to do the 22.5 angle. Again, I'm just going to bring it round. Now you will have to hold this down really firmly to make sure you get a very good cut, clean cut. Now what I would not suggest you do is go in and then go in again, because you won't get this to cut in the same place twice. So if you don't go through them all at once, don't worry, just use your scissors. So I'm gonna cut with my craft knife against the right hand edge. So here we go. I'm going to just cut down like so. Now I won't go all the way through, and I'm not going to try. Now I've cut that bit off, and I've cut off some parts, but it hasn't gone all the way through, which is what I didn't expect it to. So I'm just going to take these off so I can pull that off. Now just getting your scissors, I'm just going to follow my cut edge and just very gently trim that off like so. So I've trimmed that off, so I've got a nice straight edge there. The other thing you can do is use your trimmer. So you could use your trimmer to follow that line and then cut down. So when I then bring this in, I'm just going to snip off that top bit, take my tape off, and then you will have a lovely border that is straight around your card, just for doing that. So it alleviates all the measuring that you have to do to get a nice straight angle. So that's your top one. Now the bottom one, you do exactly the same, but I'm actually going to go, so I've gone from my left to right, For my bottom one, I'm going to go from right to left. So it's the same principle, just get it level at the top and then get your even borders all the way round. Now we'll just put tape on. Tape is fantastic, it does hold it in place, like so. And then, as I say, I'm going to go from this side to this side, and I'm going to go down. Yes. So holding, getting your position. So I'm just getting that position there, like so, and move it around. Okay, I'm going from one side of the block to another, and I'm just going to follow that down. Now I did move there just slightly, so what I'm going to show you can do is just use your trimmer to find the lines, and then you can trim that off. Just getting that right, like so. Now it didn't work as I wanted, but we'll try that again. I think it's because I had two on there. Let's try that again. So move that up just a tiny bit. So just snipping off that edge that I had. There we go. So that I'm nice and smooth. Like so. Take the tape off and bring your piece down like so, and then that then again is a very nice straight line, so that when you come to put them together, so if you're pretending this is your front page, your inside cover, I would put my smallest one on first, then I would mark it there like so. No, I wouldn't put the smallest one first. What am I on about? I would put the tallest one on first, okay, and you could either bring it up or bring it down. So if you wanted a higher pocket, bring it all the way up, but if you wanted it so you've got a gap at the top, bring it down a little bit, and then this can then go on your page like so, and then this goes from this corner downwards. Now if you don't want it like that, as I say, bring it up like I've done in my book, like so. Don't worry that this isn't long enough, because your bottom pocket is going to cover it. That way you've then got more of a zigzag than having it always continued down. So again, play around with them. You could even have it where they go the same way. So if I turn that round, you could then have it going that way. So you've got two pockets. You could also have this as a flap. So you could make that into a flap and have a diagonal pocket flap. So again, this tool is amazing, really, really is. Right, I'm going to start with my page 4. So I'm going to work from back to front on this book, only because then things are going to lay flat or flatter as you're working. So let me just get my page 4 out of my box. I think that's all I got. It's is. We've got the pull-out photo mat and the 2 pages. That was all that was on page 4. But I haven't done our score lines on these. So let me just grab my trimmer and we can start. So I've got the longest piece of our page. So this would be part A. And I'm scoring along the short edge. So I'm going to do both short edges at 1/2 inch. Like so. Now, because my page, my part B, is going inside my part A, I'm going to just trim off about 1/8 of an inch. Can you see that? I've just trimmed off that much, which is about 1/8 of an inch. That way it's going to fit very nice and snug into my part A. So I'm just going to fold my pieces down and put them in. Now, for some reason, oh no, that's better. I thought I seemed to have that was slightly bigger, but it's not. It was just how I was placing it. So I'm going to put my glue just onto one side of my glue tab. Let me just unclog mine. Like so. And I'm just turning it round because it's easier for me to work from left to right. So I've just tapped it down on the desk so I've got it level. And I'm just going to fold that glue tab over, okay? And just rub it to burnish it, just to warm the glue. So I'm going to do the same with the other glue tab on the other side. So add your glue. And again, I'm just turning it round because it's easier for me. And I've smoothed the air out. So push the air out of your pocket and then put your glue tab down. Like so. And that is your page 4. And your pull-out mat, photo mat, will go in like that. So we can attach it now to our hinges. So just push those ones all the way over because we don't need those. So you're working on your page 4 hinge, so your number 4 hinge. Now, I'm having my glue tabs face the back, so that's going to be my side B, side of my page. I'm just going to check it fits just before I go and attach it, and it fits nicely. What I am going to do though is just round 2 of those corners. So it's the 2 outer corners I'm rounding, and then you can add your glue. Now, I always say just add glue along the top edge of your hinge, not near the base, because you don't want that glue to show. And then I tend to just run a line along the bottom, snap them closed, and then open them out. Okay, then we can push them on like so. When you're happy, push it down. There we are. And then fold that side over as well. Just burnish them down. And there we go. This glue is pretty good. There we go. So that's your page 4. So I'm just going to double check, and yes, it just gives me 1/8 of an inch this side. So now we've got our page 3 to do. We can do page 3 and page 2 together. Okay, I've got the pages 2 and 3 out now, and they are the ones that are going to hold our tags and policy holders. So I'm going to put them into 2 groups. So I'm going to put the part A, which has got the 3 score lines on, and 1 pile, and then the part B, which has just got the 1 score line in another pile. And I should have another one, but it's not there. Never mind, I'll redo that one. So getting a part A and a part B, we're going to start to just get it ready so that we can put it into our book. So I'm going to miter those top glue tabs like so. So just that you cut those tops off. Now, normally what I would do would be to miter this corner here, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to slice up that score line and slice across. So I'm cutting off a square like so. Then once you've got that square off, I'm just going to miter that corner off like so. Now the reason we do that is because we haven't mitered our hinges. I want to cover those hinges. I'll show you in just a second what I actually mean. Like so. So just fold that over, and that, and that. So when they're going to go on to our hinge, it's going to sort of sit like that, and it will hide the hinges, okay? But with it being mitered on that side, you've got plenty of scope, I think, to close it off. I'm just going to double check. So let me stick one together, and again I'm just going to put my glue on one of the the glue tabs. Now what I've also done already is I've just gone ahead and trimmed off 1/8 of an inch off my long side, of my short side here, just so that I can get it into my page like so. So that's one side done. Now I haven't really done that very well, Tamara. Come on now. Let's get with the program. Oh, don't you just get it when there's just one that just will not go correctly? There we are. Like so. So that's one done. So we can go ahead and do the others. I'll do one more together, then we can go off and do our own ones. So I kind of do it like so. And then I'm going to go down and then across. Okay. Fold them over. Bring in your part B, and we can stick them together like so. Now I am going to marry up the 2 score lines. It doesn't matter so much if the tops aren't level, because you're not going to see them together. So as long as the score lines marry up, and you can fold them over without too much resistance, that will be brilliant. So push that down. Push that down. So that's our 2. That one went together a lot better than the first one. So go ahead and do the others, and then we can come back and stick them in. Okay, I've made the rest of mine up now. But before we stick them in, I want to just round those outside corners of the top of the policy holder. I'm just going to call it policy holder, so it's not as confusing to keep calling it different ones. So I've done my rounding, so now we need to stick them in. Now I'm going to make sure that my glued edges are at the back of my project, so they're going to go to the back. Now what I may do with this is I'm going to mitre these corners. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I think where my policy holder is a bit smaller, it just, sorry, yes, a bit smaller, it just needs to be mitered just a little bit, just so that it hides that, there we go, it hides the hinge like so. Now you probably can't see it from there, but when you come to do yours you probably will see it a lot better. Let me just put that in. There you go, you can maybe just see it there. Let me get rid of some of this junk and come down a little bit. There we go, just see it there. Okay, it's just slightly, but if I left them you would see it quite a lot. See, that one is actually okay. That one fits on fine. So before you cut them, just go ahead and check. As you can see, this one here is perfectly in line. Okay, so just go ahead and check. So let's put these in. So I'm going to put my glue on the inside of those glue tabs, because these are going to become our glue tabs. And they're going to become another extending hinge. So we're going to put this on. So I put glue on the back and the front, and I'm just going to push that down. Now I am going to not have this scored edge right on the top of the hinge, because you want to be able to move it backwards and forwards, and you don't want it to be hindered by that hinge. So once you're you've got it in place and you're quite confident it's stuck down, you can just go ahead and just bend it ever so slightly, just to increase that score line a little bit more. So I'm going to put this one on, and again, same principle, same idea. Glue on the inside on both sides, and then glue on your hinge. Again, not right down to the bottom, just on that very tip. Okay, and I'm going to try and line these up so that they are level at the top here, and then that's your page 3 done. So you can go ahead and put the others in for pages 2, and this one seems to be, this needs cutting down. That's your pages 2 and 3. Now pages 3 and 2. So we've got page 1, and page 1 was just the pocket page again, and it's just a little bit shorter than these ones. Oh no, sorry, we can't do those just yet. Let me just move you up. I do apologise. We need to do the policy holders. We need to give these their score lines and make these up. Okay, so for our policy holders, please excuse the lovely sunshine that's now coming through my window. My window is now on my right hand side. It used to be at the front of me in my old craft room, but it's now at the side, so yeah, I get some nice shadows, so I do apologise. I don't know if it alleviates some of them, so I do apologise. So for the policy holder, we've cut it down, so we need to score along the middle, so it'll be on the middle, on, I think it's it was scoring on the short side. So at 3.5 on the short side, but in the middle of your cardstock. Okay, fold that over. And then on this side, we're going to score it at 1 inch. Okay, so that's those two. So the next one is we need to score along a long side, so along this long side at 1/2 inch. Like so. And then we're going to turn it round and we're going to score the other long side at 1.5. Like so. So that's one. So we're going to do the same with this one. Okay, so that's my 2 policy holders. Now I'm also just going to take off again 1/8 inch off the side that hasn't got the long side that hasn't got the score line on. Again, it's just going to help when we come to fold it over. Yes, I think I need that again. So now we need to think about what side we're going to cut off. Now you can either have your policy holder where you've got this glue tab on the facing side, or you can have it so that it's at the back. So if it's at the front like this, you need to cut away this part here and this part here. You will need to cut away this and this. Okay, so those 4 things there. Let's see if I can do a better. There we go. Okay, if you want it so that it's at the back, you need to cut away this side and this one here. Okay, leaving those. I'm having it so mine is at the front because that's like a true policy holder style. But I am going to cut away this edge here. So I'm going to cut this away. Now you can use your trimmer for this. I just picked up my scissors, so I'm going to use my scissors, sorry. Cut down there and across there. Now you don't want to miter these corners because they are going to be facing. So I've cut that one, and then this one at the bottom, because this is going to be the little flap over, and then down there like so. So then that is your first policy holder. Now what I'm going to do is around the top 2 corners. Now if I'd have made this side a little bit bigger, I would have been able to have rounded those corners as well, but I don't know. Oh, I can. So I can round the bottom corners. You just have to push the backs in, and that will make it look really nice. There we go, it does. So I'm also going to round this corner here. So push that in. So you've rounded all the corners that are going to be showing. So this one here is not going to show, but because it is a little proud, I'm just cutting a little bit off so that it folds up. Okay, now I'm not going to put this together because I first of all need my pattern paper, but one other thing I am going to just do, I am going to use my trimmer and I am just going to cut down about 1/8 inch just up to my scored line here, and I will tell you why in just a moment. There we go. Now I've done that because it was getting caught along that top edge. So I've just cut it down, so that gives me a nice clean edge to fold over and it's not getting caught. It is getting a little caught on that top one, but just slightly, so I might just trim that bit away like so, and then again round that corner. My scissors fell down. Ooh, like so. So that's my first policy holder, and then that's going to go into my, it's going this way, Tamara. There we go. It's going to go into my policy holder, my policy holder, like so. And then I'm going to put the next one here. But while we're here doing pages 3 and 2, let's put the tall booklets into the tag holders for the pages. Okay, so pages 1, we need your 2 pieces, your part A and part B, and your pull out photo mat flap. Now I don't think I've done one of those yet, so let's do it now. For the flap on page 1, because I missed that one, that's going to be 9 by 7 5/8. We're going to score at 4 1/8 and round the corners. So I'm going to round every single corner, so 2 edge ones and the 2 on the scored edge as well. So again, you just need to score the short edges at 1/2 inch and just take off 1/8 of an inch of that top corner, that part B, and then we're going to stick those together like so. So grabbing the glue, I'm going to glue one side, make sure it's nice and level, and burnish down, turn round and do the other side, and there we go. There we are. So that is then page 1. So page 1 needs to fit onto our page, onto our hinge, sorry, like so. And then you've got this nice graduating page look going on, which is really nice. So I'm going to round the 2 outer corners, because I've done that on all of them, and add your glue to the hinge and along here, like that. Fold that over and then put that on like so. And so that is your book near enough completed, apart from doing all the pattern paper pieces and our tags. So go ahead and finish your policy holders and then your tags, and then when we come back together we will start to decorate. Okay, I've got my pattern paper ready so that we can start to decorate our album. But before I do that, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to put all my pattern paper measurements on my book. That way I can just cut and go as we go. So it just makes it a lot easier. Okay, so that's all my measurement for my pattern paper done, apart from obviously my in between my hinges and things. I'm going to do that later. So the front cover and the back cover, they are the same, so they are going to be 8 and 3/8 by 5 and 3/8. Okay, and this is going to be 1 and 3/8 by 8 and 3/8, and then this is going to be 8 and 3/8 by 5 and 3/8. Now to get we're going to use one sheet of your pattern paper just for the cover, so it'll be the front, the side and the back. Now the back is probably just about 1/4 of an inch too short, so what I've been doing is just paper piecing and adding a tuck spot and things. So you can do it either way, so you can either put it at the front and have a tuck spot on the front, or on the back. I might go for on the front on this one and change it up a little bit. So, but I'm going to do the front covers and that last. So as we go through, I might use some of my offcuts just to do the backs. So my side B sides of my paper, I'm going to use some offcuts and some of the cream card. That way I'm going to hopefully only we'll have all these books, but only use one pack of Graphic 45 paper. Now I do need to keep a few out, which I think I did, but they may have got jumbled up now. I thought I kept a couple out just for the covers, but I don't think I have. So it might mean that I might have to just use a pack of a couple of sheets from another pack. But we'll see how we go on this. So let me just put my one away that I'm going to use for my front cover, and I'm going to actually use, if I can get it out, this one here. I really love this Fresh Eggs. I just love that sheet of paper. I just love the colours of it. It's just stunning. And then you've got the chicken wire on the back. So I'm going to put that to the side because I'm going to use that for my front cover. Now, as I've gone here, I'm probably going to have to cut into another pack of my Graphic 45. But it would probably only be a couple of sheets. So if you've got the pattern and solids to go with this, you'll be laughing. You'll have tons of paper, and as well as, but you've got to think we're doing 4 point something books as well, so we're actually getting a lot out of one sheet, one pack. So that is my, actually I've cut the cow's head off. No, okay, we can't use that side then. By 7 and 7/8. So don't forget to round those outer corners, and don't forget to ink your edges. And I did have a pen here somewhere, and I'm going to just ink the edges. We put it onto our sheet like that. So always get to put it on. So push that down and pull it over. There we go. Just making sure I've got that level. That looks nice. So the back, so the top that comes off of that, we can then add to the back of our side A. So I'm going to add it like this colour. So it's going to come down here. Now you could add a pocket if you wanted to, and yeah, let's add a pocket. So let's just round that corner. goes there. Now if we add a small pocket, we might need to put a pocket protector on the top there. So that would be, so using some of your scraps, because I know we've got loads. This would be 4 and 5/8, and it'll be by 1, and then you're going to score it at 1/2 inch, like so. Okay, and then that's going to go on the back, and then you've got that pocket protector on the front. So I'm going to add my glue to the valley fold side and push that on like so, and then add my glue to the top, and then just burnish that down, just warm that glue up, and you will find it will eventually stick. Okay, she says, not this time. Oh. There we go. So that's then the top. It looks like that. I love this little rooster here. So let me just rub that pencil line out like so, and then if you've got just a tiny sliver of card, which I've got here, I've got a smaller piece. Oh, there, look, there we go. You can just add that to the top, and this would be 3/8 by 4.5. So that's there. Now I'm just going to add this part at the top, and this is going to be, I'm going to go with 3 5/8. Right, so we measured that at 3 5/8 by 4 5/8. So that will go at the top. I don't need that for a moment. So that would be on there, like so. So don't forget to round the corner. Now if you want to with this one, you can round all of them, but I'm just going to round that one. Now in all of my books here, I've been doing this decorative pen edge, but you don't have to if you don't want. Try not to take your pen off the page if you can help it. It does make it a lot easier. So let's put the glue on. I'm so sorry about this chair. I am going to change it. It's driving me to distraction. It's a brand new chair as well, and it shouldn't creak like this. So that's my top bit. So that's my side B and side A. Now on side A, on the bottom here, what I'm going to do is add, I've got some stickers here, so what I may do is add a sticker to some black card and then use that as a tuck spot. You could put another one up here and then have it as a tuck in and then a tuck in as well. That would be quite nice. Might do that on the next page. So you could then put a little tuck spot or something in there like so, and that holds that down. I'm waiting for that to dry. So that's your first page. So coming on to these pages now, again, it's really up to you how you decorate them. I've still got this one. I love this, but I don't think I've got enough to go all the way through. So I might have to save that one. Okay, so I'm going to cut these ones here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from this side. So I'm going to cut with it upside down, because what I want is this edge here to be at the bottom of my page here. So I'm going to cut my 2 3/8. I'm just going to double check. Yes, 2 3/8 first. Just checking it's 2 3/8. And that's going to go on there like so. So I'm just going to put that to the side a minute and bring this back in, because I want to make sure that, because I've got this bit here that's going to be not in it, so I'm going to have to think it's going to be the whole cow. No, it could be on there. So we're going to go with 3 3/4. Like so. So that will be there, 3 3/4. So just round those corners. I'm going to stick this one on. Ink your edges. And stick this bit on. Like so. And then this is going to come next. It's going to go there. So that again is another 3 3/4. And that is the top of the cow. I do like cows. I really do. And then that goes on to the top one, and then what we're going to do is just keep that, because that's obviously spare. So get where you want your tall booklets to be. Just give a line like so, and then we're going to measure up to that line. So that is 1 5/8. Just check, I'm hoping that's the same. That's the same, 1 5/8 by 3 3/8. So we want to go with the 1 5/8. I'm just checking I've got the right one. It's not that one, it's this one. Just checking. Yes. So we've got to put it this way. So we need the 1 5/8. That goes next. 1 5/8. And then we're going to go with the 3 3/8. So that's that one. So that'll be the underbelly of the cow. And then 3 3/8 Definitely 3 3/8. Not 3 5/8. 3 3/8. So I've got the next part to do now, which is the other side, and I'm going to do the same. So this side I will just use some offcuts that I've got, so I will use that for just that. So put them over, and I'm going to do the same for the two pieces on the back here. So that then is those ones finished. So we've just got one more page to do. So, oh no, we haven't. We've got our policy holders to do. So let's sort them out. Now the top is going to have our little hole in where we're going to put our fasteners round. So that is going to be, you need to have a hole on about 1 7/8, okay, 1 7/8, and they're going to come down to about 1 1/2, okay. So let's go ahead and mark these. So that was, have I done this one? No, I did that one, because that was about, so it was about 3/4, about 5/8 up from the bottom there, and from that one to that one it's 1 3/8. So we'll go with 1 7/8. Go up. No, that's near enough, about right. There. And then 1 down to 1 3/8 there. So that's then where my little holes are going to go. Now I will go ahead and die cut some of those in just a moment. The other thing that you can use is if you've got two small circle dies. Okay, I've just gone to find some circle dies. So if you haven't got the dies, you can use circle punches and just to create your little closures on your policy holders. So I've just marked my things on there. I'm going to first of all cut them out. So we're going to go with, I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to do this one here. So I'm going to do with 1 1/4. That's that. I'm going to go, sorry, I should have gone from the bottom, not the top. I'm going to come from the top first. So go that way. So it's 1 1/4. And then this one is 3 3/8. Sorry, it is 4 1/4. I've just got enough just to do that. So 4 1/4 by 2 3/8. 2 3/8 and 3 1/4 and 3/4. Sorry, I just realised what I've done. Oh, I'm getting these all wrong tonight. Right, so I'm going to have that go that way and that go that way. So we can put this on. So ink those edges. Like so. And put that on that side, giving your gap, don't worry about this side here because that's going to be closed off by that one, but make your hole in there like so. And then what I'm going to do is actually get myself a scrap piece of card, that will do. I'm going to go with, I think a 1/2 inch is going to be too small. What's that one? So right, I think we'll go with 1/2 inch. Ooh. So that's my top piece. And then some I'm going to have 2 of those. So they are going to be for my bottom. So you can put them together, and we just need now to get it as level as you can, like so. I'm not going to put any glue on here. Come on, Tamara. Get it done. There we are. I think that's about right. I'm just going to by eye the hole in the middle. And using a brad, poke that through, and you can put it through the hole in the policy holder. Now, having the circle punches, you're not going to get that hole in the middle dead center. That's where the dies do work really well. But I'm just showing you, if you haven't got the dies, you can still do these policy envelopes. So I've got another one here using the small die, sorry, the small circle punch. So I'm using the 1/2 inch one, and I'm just using a tiny bit there and that, and I might just put a bit of glue on this. So we've got that one ready. So we need to put this top one on now. So the top one, I did that's the side, and this is the top one. But the top one is not going to have a pattern piece, so I'm going to go with something else. 3 3/8. round those corners, ink those edges. And then we can put this one on and poke the hole through, and then put our little policy fastener through. Like so. And then just open that out. Now we'll put a bit of my foundation tape over the brad legs, just to keep them from getting in the way of anything that you put into your envelope. And then that goes on there like so, and like that. So that is those bits done. So I've got this part here just to add to here, so I can go ahead and glue this bit down, glue that bit, and like so, and then this gets put on the top. So I'm going to round that top corner, ink my edge, and then we can add this like so, and then this is going to fit over the top there. So I just need to get a 3/8 piece by 3 3/8. There we go. And if you can, just round those corners slightly, like so. And then this goes on. Just going to bring it down so I can work on it, and then this is going to get glued to the top there, like so. Yeah. Now I'm not going to bother doing the inside just yet. I will do them at a later date. I am just going to use some of my wax cord that is available in the shop. And I'm going to go with the green. And this one is called Winter Sage. And then these are going to go round. And I'm just tying this to the top fastener. I'm going to put a couple of little knots in there just so that it keeps it tight. And then just snip off that end bit like so. And then you can pull it round like so. So that's one closed, and then that can go into your tag holder like so. And then you've got this one more, So I'm not going to do that one. We will do that one. I will do that one off camera, but you can see how they go. So the next job is this one here. Now I've done a pocket page on here. So on this one, this is my front facing page. It would be this one here. I might do the same. I might do another pocket on this one. But I think that I may cut down again. I think it's too much. So I'm going to cut that down to 7 5/8. That one is. So that. Oh, it should have been 7 5/8. And it wasn't. So that's better. Fits in there now. So this next page here, I'm going to use the back of this, seeing as we've got some of it there. So I'm going to carry it through. So it's going to be 5 1/8. Like so. By 7 7/8. And then I'll use the other side. So that's going to go on here. Again, don't forget to round those edges, sorry, round those corners. There we go. And we'll put this down. And I think, there we are. So that's that side. So then this part we can use on the back. And that's on this part here. And we're going to do the red, I think, although that's really nice. So we've got this here. I think that's really nice. I'm going to have to use that because that's like a little picture on its own. Yeah, sorry. So I'm not actually going to make this into a pocket because I will mess up that top part. We'll put that bit on there, like so. And then I'll use my cream card and make a book at 3 5/8 by 5 1/8. That's here. 5 1/8 by 3 5/8. And that goes on like so. And I'm just going to add my border around. There we go. So then that's the top. Now what I forgot to do is just rub that bit out. So that then is our main part of our book done. Now the only thing I've not done is the front and the covers, and added some embellishments inside, but I will do them at a later date. We've got the bulk of the album done anyway, so, and as I say, I want to leave some of these to be able to use some of our offcuts sort of just on the side there, with some more of the pattern paper sort of on the top there, not pattern paper, sorry, our cream card just on the top. So I'm just going to use up all the scraps on the pieces like that. So thanks ever so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a comment and a like, and if possible, please do subscribe. It really does help my channel grow, and I thank you from the bottom of your heart for all your support. It really does make a difference. Don't forget to come and check me out on all the social medias. I have all my links are in the description box down below, as well as the link to the free PDF that goes with this video. Also, come and join me on Facebook on my group, Memories Paper Art. It is a brilliant group, and I will also leave that link in the description box but down below if you want to come and join us there. So wherever you are and whatever you're doing on this glorious day, please have a really good one, and I will see you again on the next one. Bye.